I couldn't be happier that this movie turned out to be a masterpiece. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'm going to be doing a review on Wicked for Good. So, Wicked for Good is the second part of Wicked, continue on the events of the first Wicked, part one, and this one came out in the year 2025, just exactly 1 year after the events of the first of part one. I'm not gonna say like first or sequel. I'll just say part one, part two, like that, because technically it's more of a direct continuation. It really is built in like it's one whole story just split into two, and it is directed once again by John M. Chu, and it stars Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Yeoh, Marissa Bode, Ethan Slater, Bowen Yang, Bronwyn James, Coleman Domingo, Kiela Settle, D. Bradley Baker, etc. And so the film tells a story taking place right after the events of the first film, where an angry mob rises against the Wicked Witch, Elphaba, as Glinda and Elphaba will need to come together one final time. But however, their lives have been split, as Elphaba is now being haunted, and she is hiding while she continues her mission to expose the truth about the wizard and pretty much stop him from from trying to keep the animals hostage any longer. And also she must free the animals as well, and also expose the fact that the wizard is just pretending. And also now Glinda is the face of the public. She is under control of Madame Morrible, as she wants this whole she wants the land of Oz to remain quote unquote hopeful under Glinda, while she uses guards led by Fierro to hunt down and capture Elphaba. But then some complications arises when you know Fierro you know, if you guys remember the first one, you probably know about the whole Fierro liking Elphaba thing. Like they both bonded, they both had a chemistry, and yeah, with Elphaba and Glinda's singular friendship, now the fulcrum of their futures, they will truly need to see each other with honesty and empathy, if they are going to change themselves and all of us for good. So before I go on and talk about this, and like how I do my usual reviews, I just want to let you all know that this movie will feature heavy spoilers, because there were so many people watching this movie over the weekend. Over the weekend, and this week, this movie is already the highest grossing movie of 2025 in my country. And also it is one of the highest grossing opening movie openings at the box office in the US, with the highest pre-sales ticket of the year. So I'm sure everybody has seen the film. Now, it took me this long to get around to reviewing this movie for two reasons. One, I had to elaborate my thoughts on more, so I decided to see this movie twice first before getting a chance to make a full elaborated review on the movie. And two, I was busy. So the first time I saw this movie was on last Wednesday, opening day. I went to like the first morning showing of it all, in a packed theater. Yeah, 11 a.m. showing. Usually in my country, early morning showing on weekdays is there's usually little to no people. But the fact that an early morning Wednesday showing, like when people are supposed to be in office and school, they're actually seeing this at the time. That just goes to show. And I know you guys are gonna ask me, oh wait a minute, Frozen, aren't you going to school too? Well, technically, my classes on Wednesdays is at one is in the afternoon. Yeah, so give myself time, and sometimes some semesters I don't even have Wednesday classes at all. So next sem I probably will be able to see every movie on Wednesday. But anyways, moving on. Now the first Wicked movie, part one of Wicked, which is called just Wicked back in 2024, is a movie that gets better and better and better the more I think about it. I actually did not praise it enough in my initial review of the film, but my actual thoughts in the movie are solidified in my Frozen Awards for 2025 when I talked about what I think about Wicked as time goes on, and Wicked is probably the most well-made movie of the year. Like there is a part of it that is the best movie in 2024. No, 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 guys, no. I'm not changing my mind. I still think Inside Out 2 is my favorite movie of 2024. I am like not changing my mind on that. I because Inside Out 2 is the best Pixar movie ever. Maybe until Inside Out 3 comes out. But Wicked is without question the best live action movie of 2024, and it is my second favorite movie of 2024. Second only to the first movie. So of course, Wicked for Good is a lot of people's most anticipated one of a lot of people's most anticipated movies of the year, including myself. Yeah, I did put this in my top five most anticipated movies of 2025 because of how good the first movie ended up being. The second one is no part two, of course, has a lot of hype surrounding it. And keep in mind, guys, I mean, I if you guys remember what kind of expectations that people had with the first one, yeah, people were really harsh in it. They immediately just said that it's going to be one of the worst movies ever. It's going to be one of the worst movies of 2024. Like people had it under least anticipated movies of 2024. Like there was no hype surrounding it. People said, "Oh, Wicked is going to be a failure. Oh, Wicked is going to be a box office flop." But I was the one guy, the one person who was excited for this movie, who actually had high expectations for Wicked, especially after seeing a certain trailer for it. And I was telling people, give Wicked a chance. It's going to be amazing. Trust me. And I was right. So yeah, still to this day, I get bragging rights for because I fucking told you so. That Wicked is going to be amazing, like something truly special. And people like all the Wicked haters who wanted the movie to fail are just being fucking delusional. Like they're living in a fantasy. But I didn't even think of Wicked. I would go as far as considering Wicked as the best live action movie of 2024 and considering it among my top 20 favorite movies of all time. But here we are. So yeah, now with all of the praise surrounding Wicked, despite the low expectations people had for it, you might think that this movie would get this movie would also not only receive the same acclaim as the first one, but actually get better reviews. Unfortunately, though, oh no, this movie is divisive. Like it's Frozen 2 reviews all over again, where people are saying that they were disappointed with it, that it was the movie that they feared the first one was going to be, and it's a dud. Some people even going as far as calling it unnecessary, and the fact that the Wicked did not need to be split into two parts. And I mean, from what I understood, it one of the reasons as to why this movie did not capture the same acclaim as the first as the first part is because of the fact that um Act Two of the Wicked Broadway show is not very well received either. Like a lot of people have problems with it, and I gotta be honest with you guys, as someone who watched the Wicked play and who had my own personal judgment on it without reading everyone else's thoughts. Although I thought that everybody loved Wicked and considered it as one of the greatest musicals of all time. because Wicked is my favorite Broadway musical. Well, either Wicked, Hamilton, or Les Miserables. But I did not. I was really surprised to hear that Act Two of Wicked from the stage show is divisive and said that it went downhill from there. So my own personal takes on Act Two of Wicked, the stage show, I will say that the songs don't really recapture the first film's memorability. I mean, the songs are good, but it's memorable. However, I like the complexity of the story more than the first one. I like how dark it became, like the shift in tone and all this stuff, and yeah. So of course, as you all know, I don't like critics getting in the way of my thoughts. This is just my opinion, and yeah. And yes, guys, like what I said, there will be spoilers. I'm about to get into my personal thoughts on it, so let's get right into it. Yeah, I mean, after seeing Wicked for Good, well, twice in a row now, I gotta say, holy shit, man. Wicked for Good, it absolutely blew my expectations out of the water. Like, this movie, honestly, guys, this was fucking perfect. Like, this was perfect. Like, yeah, this was an absolutely perfect continuation of the story of Wicked that perfectly wrapped up just the whole Wicked story in general. The Wicked movies are basically like the Frozen movies, the Frozen duology, where the first film has a more cheery, playful, and lighthearted tone to it, while the second part has less of those things and it's more serious. It has more emotional beats. It's more mature. It has a darker tone. Although it has Wicked for Good is the Frozen 2 of Wicked, and that's probably one of the main reasons why this movie really hit me hard. And I'm gonna go as far as saying I actually prefer this over part one of Wicked. Yes, guys, I know I'm alone in this. I know it's a hot take. And I know people are probably gonna tell me, "Oh, well, Frozen, come on, it's objectively not that good. You're just overhyping the movie. You probably just turn your brain off and watch it without actually thinking of the problems with it." I will admit, I was worried about that. Like, over the course of like the couple of days I watched it from Thursday to Friday, like Thursday and Friday, until like I saw it a second time on Saturday. I thought that I thought that maybe the movie isn't as masterful as I thought it was, as good, and I was worried that I was gonna eventually admit on second viewing that I was gonna overhype it, and that I mean I overhyped it, yeah, past tense. But yeah, I think my second viewing on Saturday, last Saturday, clearly solidified my thoughts in it that Wicked for Good is a damn masterpiece. Now, granted, I will say though, as opposed to the Wednesday showing, which is easily one of the best showing, best cinema experiences I had this year. I was kind of disappointed with the cinema experience of Wicked, of the second one. So I'm not getting into full detail because I got things to say about this the movie itself. But talking a bit about the Saturday cinema experience, like I could have saw it like again like Monday or sometime this week because I actually had another thing to do that last Saturday. I had an event for school, so I thought I was gonna kill my chance. But I went to this mall for the very first time. The school event took place in a far place, and so it was right near what people consider to be one of the most iconic malls in my country. So I chose to see Wicked for Good there. I tried that cinema for the very first time, and I was massively disappointed with the cinema itself. I mean, seats were fine, I guess, but then the screen, my God, the screen was so dim. Like what was so dim. It was not lit properly, and there were scenes in the film where I had a hard time even seeing because of how dim it is. But wait, what made the experience more disappointing is how the cinema wasn't as packed as I wanted it to be. I like with all the huge crowds of people in my area wanting to see Wicked for God, I wanted like a full packed theater. But what I got is just basically half of it is back, so which is disappointing. Like, but yeah, but did that affect my thoughts on Wicked for good? No, because I when I walked out and reevaluated on it, like thought about it for 2 days before talking about it now, I I think I really do love the film as much as I thought it was. Like I love it, man. So yeah. Now, one of the common criticisms people have with the film is how the story is messy, all over the place, rushed, and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. The story is nowhere near as messy as people say it is. It just has a lot of heavy lifting. It is more focused on themes and character work. While part one is a prequel to Wizard of Oz, explaining how Glinda and Elphaba's friendship broke and how Elphaba became the Wicked Witch of the West. This part is basically Wizard of Oz with a different take from the perspectives of Glinda and Elphaba. Not only does the story tie into the Wizard of Oz, but it expands and answers some questions I did not realize were plot holes to the original Wizard of Oz. So now, don't get me wrong, guys. I still praise the Wizard of Oz. I still think Wizard of Oz is a 5 out of 5 masterpiece. But yeah, I think after seeing this film, I can see some nitpicks in it now. Like for example, how the fuck did the tornado just all of a sudden take Dorothy to Oz? I know it was all just a dream from what I remember. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a dream. But still, and also, did they mention something about the shoe? Like, did they mention about like the shoe? And all that stuff like the Wicked Witch in the East being dead. Like, I think they didn't mention it in the original Wizard of Oz movie, by the way. And also, we also get to see like the how Dorothy was taken by the monkeys. How the wizard orchestrated all the fake stuff for like when he tasked Dorothy to kill the Wicked Witch of the West, and how also how Scarecrow and Tin Man and the Lion came to be. So yeah, like it's not a problem with the Wizard of Oz, but this movie gets to expand more on the lore of the Wizard of Oz. So, uh, one thing that I think cannot be denied that this part did better than part one is Glenda and Elphaba as well as Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo's performances. I think like you can say the story is not as good as part one. You can say the technical aspects are not as good as part one, all you want. But I don't think I mean, if you think that Glenda and Elphaba are downgrade great characters in the first one, not better, then I don't know what you're saying. Because Glenda and Elphaba have more character developments in this one, and we see them change and we see growth in them. Glinda becomes the most popular person in all of us, but she prefers to be a simple person who, prefers to show simple acts of kindness over having fame. And so that's actually one thing that makes Madame Marble the true main antagonist of the movie. That she just wants Glinda's to get in power, to get in fame. But all Glinda wants is just to bring happiness to us, to bring kind. But she wants to do it in a way that makes her look like just a normal person, not this famous celebrity. But Glinda did eventually get in power against the wizard himself and Madame Morrible. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, Elphaba is seen as a monster, but deep down, she's just angry over her disagreements with the wizard. Like she just wants she just wants justice. She's not really evil, and that's actually one thing I appreciate about what they're doing with the Wizard of Oz, because the Wiz if you guys remember, the Wizard of Oz did present a plot twist that the wizard was just all just a trick, and that the person behind the wizard was just a normal man. So you got like this whole idea that oh, is the wizard actually a good person? But this movie pretty much also answers those questions. We learned that Elphaba is not really as much of a wicked witch as people as the Wizard of Oz movie makes it out to be, and that the wizard is the main problem. Like, but um, yeah, Madame Morrible is the real main villain of the movie. I guess you could say Oz is also the real main antagonist, but Michelle Yeoh's Madame Morrible is like the whole, hater scumbag, like female Lex Luthor, very evil, very reprehensible, and I fucking hate her so much in a complimentary kind of way. A truly great antagonist. All the major performances in the film are objectively superior to the first, and that is one element. Besides, other than Glinda Elphaba's chemistry and the character developments, that's one. The performances are one thing I am not going to debate over. Which Wicked film and had better performances. Even though I would have wanted Ariana Grande to win Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars last year, I'm actually now kind of glad she didn't, because if Ariana Grande won Best Supporting Actress last year, yeah, I mean, which I think she would have had a lower chance of winning. And also, I'm kind of happy for Zoe Saldana and Emilia Perez. I think she kind of deserved it, but she's really good as well. So I'm okay with her being an Oscar winner. I mean, I still think Emilia Perez is overhated, by the way, um, but I think now Ariana Grande has a higher chance of winning, and now she's like the favorite to win Best Supporting Actress. I genuinely hope Ariana Grande wins Best Actress. If she doesn't, I will be upset. And Oscars, just because this movie isn't well received does not mean that it shouldn't win anything. I mean, Emilia Barris also had like a 70% of Rotten Tomatoes. By the way, higher than Wicked for Good is. Oh well. I'm kind of on the critics side, anyways. Since I'm probably the only person who likes Emilia Barris. But yeah, Ariana Grande's performance in this move in Wicked for Good puts her performance in Act One to Part One to absolute shame. Grande's performance in this one, it is the performance that's truly worthy of an Oscar win. I mean, she had more weight under her belt because Glenda's personality, like she turned into this more dramatic kind of person. She's very similar to Anna from the Frozen movies. Like how Anna in Frozen One was very cartoony, very over the top, very cheery, happy. But then in Frozen Two, we see Anna as like a more serious person, less cheery and all that stuff. That's basically Glinda's character, and yeah, there's a lot of crying from Glinda, a lot of just screaming, a lot of heartbreaks and all that stuff, and she freaking knocked it of the park. A very powerful performance, and also you got the Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, even stronger of a performance than the first. Like, especially her performance in No Good Deed, which I'll get to that later. Besides, the two leads, Jonathan Bailey is also one of the standouts. Fiyero is more of a major character in this than he was in the first, and better as there are more things to know about him than what was established in the first one. Like how he didn't want to be like the strong soy boy male soldier that Madame Morrible wanted him to be, and he still has like that compassion for Elphaba, and yeah, there's that. Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum were also great at playing their villain roles, better than the first. And yeah, I know the visuals is one criticisms that people had with the the first one. But I think the visuals in this one are definitely better. Even though I think the first Wicked is visually stunning, and I did nominate it for the Frozen Awards, but this one is better looking, better cinematography and all that stuff. Now, when it comes to the songs in the first one, they're on par with the first one, but not quite. surpassing it. I would maybe even give the slight edge to the soundtrack of the first Wicked, but this one still had fantastic songs. Some of them are even underrated. I mean, there's like thank goodness slash I couldn't be happier. The song I was singing, like when pretty much that song is Glinda giving the Land of Oz a positive message, a very cheery and happy message, reminding them that they can still have happiness in the worst of times. And man, Ariana Grande's angelic voice in that song, damn, it's amazing. The Girl in the Bubble grew on me, like a song that pretty much grew on me because I wasn't sure what to think of the song. I mean, of course, I loved it. Like it's a great new song, but I wasn't sure if it was one of the best Wicked song for good songs like I was hoping for. But on rewatch, yeah, it is one of the best. It is among my top five favorite Wicked for good songs. The song works so well by adding Glinda's character arc, and is carried by the cinematography in that scene. I mean, the movie, sorry, the song "The Girl in the Bubble" like has this like allegory where there's like a two sides to Glinda, like the more cheery side, happy side, and the more serious side of her. And then when the camera just goes to the mirror shot of her, when we see like Glinda looking up at the mirror, and then the camera just goes up and then goes back down after reaching the mirror. Damn, that is cinematography right there. That is so good. And it actually means something. And yeah, and as for Wonderful, it's pretty crazy because when I first saw Wicked for Good, I thought Wonderful was the weakest of the soundtrack. But on rewatch, Wonderful became one of my favorite songs in the film. That song number was a very powerful moment because it's what brought back the strong chemistry that Glenda and Elphaba had, and how they became close as well. Like if they both didn't go together and the Wizard didn't sing "Wonderful" to them, I mean, how would their relationship have been? And also the scene with Glinda building a swing using the witch broom, and then seeing both of them go for a ride over this like beautiful scenery. That is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. That was so beautiful. Yeah, Wonderful needs far more appreciation than it has. And am I missing something? Now, I will admit that I think No Place Like Home, the other new song in the film, is the weakest Wicked for Good song. I was not really blown away by that new song, but I will say it's still a good song. There's not a single duds in that in the soundtrack. And of course, let's talk about the two highlights in this film soundtrack. No Good Deed and For Good, the two best songs in the film, let alone the Wicked duology in general. For Good is such an emotional song, and yeah, this movie absolutely broke me. It made me cry both times I watched it. Like the third act where Glinda and Elphaba um the third act with Glinda and Elphaba, like in the castle, and then Glinda just tells Elphaba that she doesn't need to go far, and then Glinda's like, wait, and Elphaba's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm thinking of surrendering. I don't want to do this any longer, and then like Glinda then tries to convince Elphaba to not let others get in her way, and then you get like this line from the trailer. Just look at me, not with your eyes, with theirs. With theirs, yeah. And then we see them sing For Good, which I have not cried at a song number in a musical movie since the next right thing from Frozen 2, which is still my favorite song of all time. But here we are, and all yeah, and also what's even more emotional is how we see like this whole mirror shot. Oh, by the way, the mirror shot with like when Elphaba sends Glinda to a door, and then we see like this whole shot of Glinda and Elphaba like on separate doors with the door in the middle of them. That is brilliant cinematography right there. Yeah, I think that this has one of the best cinematographies of the year. So yeah, to those of you who criticized the first Wicked for having no plain vanilla cinematography, no gorgeous shots like that, well, you'll be impressed by the camera tricks of what they do in this one. And if you can't see it, then you're kind of blind, honestly. And then you got that moment of Glinda watching Dorothy save Dorothy just defeat the Wicked Witch, defeat Elphaba by throwing a bucket at her and all that stuff. And then we see Glinda sobbing. Yeah, that really got me. That really pulled my heartstrings. Yeah, it's freaking amazing. Like how they're able to just convey that emotion, and yeah, and that's another instance of Ariana Grande real truly deserving the truly worthy of the best supporting actress win. But now let's talk about the best soundtrack and the best song in the film. Now, I know you guys are gonna ask me, wait a minute, Frozen, isn't wasn't for good your favorite Wicked for Good song? Well, it was, but then on rewatch and the more I thought about it, No Good Deed is now officially my favorite Wicked for Good song, and I think a majority of us would agree on it. Like that song is so powerful. I mean, I love a good old emotional song, but I mean, the more I think about the No Good Deed song, the more that it's a song that I just keep listening to over a loop, and I've decided, you know what, this I think this is the best song in the film because it's very powerful. Cynthia Erivo's acting is at her best here, her acting chops, and it's basically the turning point for Elphaba, like how she eventually became the Wicked Witch of the West, like and how she is sick of humanity's shit. After the guards decided to capture Fiyero and hang him. Like pretty much at the point where Fiyero becomes the scarecrow. Yeah, Elphaba was like, you know what, fuck humanity. I'm now going to be wicked for good. Well, no pun intended. Yeah, and No Good Deed is actually very important to Elphaba's character, and that song I just couldn't help but just let it be stuck with me. It's the most visually stunning sequence in the entire film. And also, yeah, the most visually. Also, the shot of Elphaba flying. The ending when like she flies with the monkeys, and then the monkeys start like flying it from the camera. Another one of my favorite shots in the entire film. And yeah, although as much as I love the scene, yeah, I will say that the scene with the Glinda and Elphaba's like final like emotional conversation is my favorite scene in the film because of just how much it hits hard. It's just that No Goodie is my favorite, and also the oh yeah, by the way, before I was gonna talk about the plot and themes, yeah, I will say that I do think K-pop Demon Hunters still has the best soundtrack of the year. But Wicked for Good is a close second, and Wicked for Good is a better movie than K-pop Demon Hunters as a movie. But just soundtrack wise, K-pop Demon Hunters takes the edge. Because like, let's be real here. The K-pop Demon Hunters songs have become iconic at this point, even though the weaker ones. So yeah, and yeah, the story. It. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it all makes sense. It's all about Glinda and Elphaba, and how both of their personalities are tested with Glinda being used as the public figure for everyone to be joyful, and then Fiyero being sent to hunt Elphaba, and Elphaba just seeing the bad in humanity, and that's how she turns into the Wicked Witch. And this movie pretty much tackles themes of change. And the message of the movie is that everyone changes. Like people can change like who they are. It's all up to them, and and that really resonates with me. Frozen 2 also tackled a similar theme about change, and like and that's one thing that makes me love Wicked for Good, like how really it's similar to Frozen 2, not just in like the fact that it's dark, but also story beats and themes and messages as well. Yeah, it's just more. Yeah, both of them are very similar. They have that thing in common. And what else? And yeah, I think I'm glad that we get this hopeful message in a very cruel world, that there's still hope for goodness in it. And oh, and also the plot twist as well. Yeah, last point I'm gonna make before I end this: the plot twists are fucking insane. Like one of the plot twists is that the wizard that turns out to be Elphaba's father, which is the green potion that the wizard holds the whole time, and then Elphaba also holds. Glinda finds out about that, and we get this whole backstory of the wizard that dancing with Elphaba's mother. Yeah, that was great. And I'm not sure if they actually explained this, but I think Elphaba's quote unquote dad in the first one turns out to be her stepdad, and Nessa Rose's it's just Elphaba's stepsister. Well, I'm not sure how you interpret that. You guys, someone can explain to me in the comments if you're actually watching this review all the way through. I'll probably do my research on that as well. Oh, and speaking of that, I will say Nessa Rose and Bach are probably two characters, and the only element in this part that is a downgrade from its predecessor. Now, don't get me wrong, Nessa Rose and Bach are great characters too. They're pretty good. I like them, but I just think that they are the weakest parts of this movie. Yeah, I mean, I like Nessa Rose's song number, "The Wicked Witch of the East." That even though it's one of the weaker songs in the film, but still very good. And Bach's turning point into Bach's turning point to Tin Man is great. I just prefer their more cheery personalities in in the previous Wicked movie. Oh, and also let's talk about the very ending of the movie. The fact that Elphaba is still alive. Now, yes, I knew those plot twists, by the way, of the wizard being Oz's father. No, I mean, sorry, Elphaba being the daughter of the wizard, and then also Elphaba faking her death, and then we see Fiera as a scarecrow, which yeah which by the way, is it just me, or does the scarecrow design look like a Ryan Reynolds, like Wade Wilson? Like, remember Deadpool Wolverine, the beginning of it with like Wade Wilson and his hair? Yeah, that's how the scarecrow looked like. And then we also see both Fiero and Elphaba going into hiding in the desert, making sure that no one knows that they're alive. So yeah. So overall, Wicked for Good is absolutely peak, and I still cannot stop thinking about this to this day. It is my favorite non-Disney musical of all time, my favorite Universal movie of all time, my third favorite movie of 2025 behind Sinners and Thunderbolts, and my 13th favorite movie of all time. Yeah, I mean, it was in 12th place when I first watched it, but on rewatch, but I mean, there's another movie I rewatched just today, right before recording this review, and that certain movie pretty much took this movie's like. I mean, I not put that certain movie I rewatched the over Wicked for Good as I speak. So yeah, this is now bumped down to 13th place. But yeah, please ignore the unnecessary hate that this movie has, and give this movie a watch. You will not regret it. Trust me. And I heard rumors, like suggestions, that they could work on a third Wicked movie where like it's more original. I'd be curious to see a third Wicked movie to see where this goes, how they will find out that Elphaba is still alive, and how the people in Oz will react to the truth about the wizard and Madame Morrible and all that stuff. Yeah, I'd be down for it. But will it be as good as Wicked and Wicked for Good? We'll see. But I'm not going to jinx it. So with that said, guys, I'm going to give Wicked for Good a 5 out of 5 stars. A masterpiece movie. So by the way, I am planning to revise my top 10 best movies of 2020 list. So we'll see where Wicked for Good can end up being on when I reevaluate my top 10 list and how it's gonna look like. But yeah, you'll see in my top 10 best movies of 2025 video. So yeah, you'll see about that. But one thing's for sure, this movie's gonna eventually be in fourth place once I see Zootopia 2 on Thursday, because I call it that Zootopia 2 will be the best movie of the year and of the month. So yeah. So what are your thoughts on Wicked for Good? Would you agree with me that this movie is an overhated masterpiece and better than the first act of Wicked? Or were you underwhelmed by this movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Zootopia 2. Oh wait, now before the Zootopia 2 review, trailer reviews as well. There's a lot of trailers I have to get into. So yeah, bye guys.